Salam keluarga Malaysia. Hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brendan Lepal and you're watching News at 10. In our top stories tonight, maximum price for bottled cooking oil to be gazetted soon. And employers reminded to take minimum wage requirement seriously. The government will gazette the maximum retail price for palm cooking oil in bottles to ensure that the product will have its maximum retail price from time to time. Jihad Against Inflation Task Force Chairman Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the move was deemed necessary after discussions held with the industry to lower the price of cooking oil were proven ineffective despite the decline in crude palm oil prices. He also said that any export of cooking oil in the form of polybags will be stopped with immediate effect.
Nampaknya untuk menyegerakan proses menurunkan harga, walaupun alasan-alasan yang diberikan, misalnya alasan kerana mereka sedang menjual minyak stok yang lama sewaktu membeli pada harga yang tinggi. Tapi jawatankuasa berpendapat alasan itu tidak adil kepada rakyat.
He said this to reporters at Parliament lobby today. Tan Sri Anwar said the setting of the maximum price is expected to be implemented in another week. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs has revoked the licenses to repackage subsidized cooking oil from 14 companies after they were suspected of smuggling the regulated item into neighboring countries. Its Deputy Minister, Dato' Rosul Wahid, said the court proceeding on all 14 companies is currently ongoing.
Berkaitan dengan penguasaan dan kebocoran ini, kita pertingkatkan lagi penguasaan dan juga intipan dan juga sistem audit di semua sekat-sekat yang telah diberi kebenaran untuk membungkus minyak ini untuk pastikan tidak ada kebocoran. Kebocoran tersebut disebabkan antaranya dikesan ada daripada repacker kepada luar negara dan ada juga daripada pemborong kepada luar negara. Jadi dengan sistem audit yang terbuat ini, kita akan dapat lihat di mana berlaku kebocoran tersebut dan insya-Allah ianya akan dapat kita atasi dalam masa terdekat.
He added that since the 1st of July until yesterday, KBD and HEB has recorded 100 cases involving the smuggling of subsidized cooking oil. The seizure was estimated to be worth 2.2 billion ringgit. The seizures were made during checkups on over 12,000 business premises through Op Ayam, Telur dan Minyak, Op Anti Sorok, and Op Bersepadu between several enforcement agencies. Malaysian crude palm oil CPO prices are expected to range higher at between 5,000 ringgit and 5,500 ringgit per tonne in the fourth quarter of this year. Plantation Industries and Commodities Minister Dr. Zuraida Kamarudin said this is due to the resumption of Indonesia's palm oil export levy beginning September and the expected decline in palm oil production. The CPO price rose by 55.9% to 6,330 ringgit per tonne during the January-June 2022 period from 4,061 ringgit and 50 cent per tonne in the same period last year. Dato' Zuraida explained the higher CPO price was influenced by higher prices of soybean oil. Palm oil stocks remain at manageable levels, firmer Brent crude oil price. In addition, concerns over disruptions of vegetable oil supply from the Black Sea region following Russia's invasion of Ukraine also contributed to the increase. The ministry has been actively monitoring developments in the industry and will continue to ensure that palm oil continues to remain a major contributor to national economic growth, benefiting all, especially smallholders and industry players. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa expressed his disappointment towards some employers who still did not raise their employees' minimum wage to 1,500 ringgit. When officiating at the launch of the Jamin Kerja Keluarga Malaysia Career Expo 2022 in Kuala Lumpur, the Prime Minister said, based on my future job statistics until July, the salary range for most job vacancies offered nationwide was between 1,200 ringgit to 2,000 ringgit per month.
Saya sedikit kecewa kerana gaji ditawar majikan tidak setimpal dan berpadanan dengan kelayakan dan kerja yang dilakukan oleh anak-anak tempatan ini. Sehubungan dengan itu, saya meminta semua pihak majikan mengambil serius mengenai perkara ini kerana pekerja merupakan tunjang utama dalam mana-mana organisasi di mana mereka boleh make or break sesuatu perniagaan.
Datuk Seri Masabri also urged the Human Resources Ministry to hold discussions with employers and employee representatives to identify the best approach and solution to this problem. In fact, he added the National Labour Advisory Council can also be used to carry out tripartite consultations to reach a consensus for the well-being of Keluarga Malaysia. Meanwhile, Human Resources Minister Datuk Seri M. Saravadan said 118 employers were found to be guilty of not complying with the minimum wage order as of last month. He said this was based on the Department of Labour Peninsular Malaysia JTKSM findings on investigations into 157 complaints.
Kita cuba menyelesaikan secara berhemah. Kita telah memberi nasihat kepada mereka. Sekiranya mereka masih gagal, kita akan kenakan sebanyak 10,000 denda pertama. Apabila sehingga mereka gagal mematuhi, kita akan cas setiap hari sehingga mereka menyelesaikan isu ini.
A total 13 billion ringgit of committed investments was recorded by the Iskandar Regional Development Authority (IRDA) as of June this year, out of which 5.9 billion ringgit have been realized. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Masabri Yaakob said the investments achieved had proven that foreign investors are more confident to invest in Malaysia. In a statement, the Premier said over 10 billion ringgit will be driven by foreign investment in the region for development of data center, which in turn will provide over 6,000 job opportunities for Keluarga Malaysia. In the meantime, IRDA is formulating the modern agriculture strategy to strengthen national food security agenda in line with the 12th Malaysia Plan. The plan will position IRDA as Malaysia's agri-food hub. IRDA is also drafting the Iskandar Malaysia Comprehensive Development Plan 2022 to 2030, which will make the region as one of the core areas of the national economy with the concept of sustainable development and resilient to future uncertainty, shocks and challenges. Now, the Health Ministry is taking increased precautionary measures following the announcement by the World Health Organization (WHO) that monkeypox is now a public health emergency of international concern. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said all health facilities in the country have been instructed to immediately make a notification if they detect a positive infection. Sentinel surveillance has been established at several clinics to monitor cases involving any rashes or skin lesions. Meanwhile, 2 detection labs have been added, bringing the total number to 12 in the country. As an added measure, border security has been boosted, with non-Malaysian travellers required to fill in the traveller's card in the My Sejahtera application. For travellers from countries with reports of monkeypox, pop-up health messages will appear every day through My Sejahtera to remind them to monitor infection symptoms for 21 days. Cosmetic products and other medicines containing substances detrimental to its consumers' health will be instructed off the market within 24 hours. According to Deputy Health Minister Dr. Noor Azmi Ghazali, for products with minor risks or not up to par with quality standards, they are to be retrieved in 72 hours. In a related development, the Health Ministry has raided 443 unnotified cosmetic product business premises. It involves confiscations worth 4.3 million ringgit from 86 complaints lodged since 2021 until June this year. Throughout the same duration, 1,775 cosmetic advertisements have been inspected, with warnings issued to 283 of them, while 104 had their notification statuses revoked.
Pihak KKM juga sentiasa menjalankan tindakan pemeriksaan dan operasi serbuan secara berterusan ke atas premis dan penjual termasuk di media sosial untuk mengekang penjualan ini. Syarikat yang tidak mengikut undang-undang akan disiasat dan akan didakwa di mahkamah di bawah Akta Jualan Dadah 1992.
Terima Menteri dan terima kasih.
The Education Ministry is in talks with the Finance Ministry on the matter of raising the Supplementary Food Program RMT rate from 4 ringgit to 5 ringgit for pupils nationwide. Its Senior Minister, Dr. Muhammad Razidin, said the matter will be considered and tabled in Budget 2023.
Perkara ini juga kita akan bincang untuk disiapkan kertas untuk dibawa ke Kabinet berkaitan dengan hal ini. Jadi kita perlu ingat bahawa setiap perkara ini memerlukan sedikit masa kerana ianya melibatkan implikasi yang besar. Perkara ini pun kita telah sedang dan akan terus bincang dengan Kementerian Kewangan bagi memastikan kita mengambil kira semua aspek sebelum sebarang pertimbangan dibuat.
He said this after officiating the Sustainable Environmental Exploration Program in the federal capital. Careful scrutinization must be done to determine whether the increase is feasible or not. And yet to come, married couple nabbed as drugs worth 2 million ringgit seized. Stay with us. But first, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Parliament and Law, Dato' Sri Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, is optimistic that the Constitution Amendment Bill 2022 on prohibition of members of the Dewan Rakyat party hopping can be enforced according to schedule this September. He said the bill, which for the first time was drafted by government and opposition members of Parliament MPs themselves through the Parliamentary Special Select Committee that was established earlier, was highly anticipated by many parties. He said he will propose a motion to table the report of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Wednesday before the Prime Minister tables the bill. According to Dato' Sri Wan Junaidi, the report and the bill will be debated together but will undergo a separate voting process.
Usul itu akan diundi secara berasingan, secara simple majority. Tetapi rang undang-undang itu sendiri akan diundi mengikut garis panduan perkara 159, iaitu perlu 2/3 majority.
He said this in a press conference in Parliament Building today. Johor police arrested 25 men suspected to be involved in smuggling of diesel, cooking oil, cigarettes and liquor in 14 raids conducted in the state since last Wednesday. State Police Chief Dato' Kamarul Zaman Mahmad said the suspect, aged between 20 and 53, included 16 locals. He said they were arrested in raids conducted in Mersing, Sri Alam, Muar, Tangka, Iskandar Putri, Kota Tinggi, Segamat, Pontian, Julai and Johor Bahru. He said the arrest of the suspects led to the seizures of 4,012 packets of subsidized cooking oil, 158,380 litres of diesel, 215 cartons of cigarettes of various brands, and 50 bottles of liquor of various brands.
Sebenarnya kita gabungkan, kita gembelingkan seluruh tenaga dan usaha kita untuk memastikan bahawa penyelewengan ini tidak akan berlaku lagi di negeri Johor. Dan saya beri amaran kepada mereka-mereka yang terlibat dalam sindiket dan sebagainya ini supaya menghentikan perbuatan-perbuatan ini kerana pasukan kami sedang menjalankan operasi di seluruh negeri Johor.
He said this in a press conference at the Seri Alam Police Headquarters in Johor Bahru today. Police also seized 15 lorries, 1 tanker and 2 vans. Dato' Kamarul Zaman said, adding that the total seizure was about 1.97 million ringgit. Police arrested a married couple in separate raids around Ipoh City on suspicion of drug trafficking and seized drugs worth 2 million ringgit last Thursday. Perak Police Chief Datuk Mio Farid Al-Atrash Wahid said the 34-year-old local man was detained at a food court in Jalan Raja Musa Mahadi, while his wife, a Vietnamese, aged 38, was nabbed along the road at Panorama Lapangan Perdana at about 4:40 p.m. He said police conducted a check on a car belonging to the male suspect and found 10 plastic packages containing methamphetamine. Further checks on another car at a parking lot of an apartment found 10 plastic packages containing the same drug.
So kita telah membuat ujian saringan yang kencing ke atas suspek satu lelaki Cina dan kita dapati suspek ini positif dadah jenis methamphetamine dan suspek satu perempuan warga negara Vietnam kita dapati negatif dari sebarang jenis dadah. So kita juga telah membuat sebaiknya rekod. Kita dapati kedua-dua suspek ini tidak mempunyai sebarang rekod kesalahan lampau.
He added both suspects were believed to have been active in drug trafficking since 3 months ago. Briefing reporters today, Datuk Mio Farid Al-Atrash said police also seized a branded watch, an anklet, a ring and a bracelet, all estimated to be worth 83,315 ringgit. The suspects are in remand for a week from last Friday until Thursday under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. A housewife and her friend were charged at the Johor Bahru Magistrates Court today with the murder of the woman's husband at a flat in Taman Daya 2 weeks ago. Margaret Law, 36, and Pham Mi Fat, 53, nodded when the murder charge was read out to them before Magistrate Nur Madiana Mamat. However, no plea was recorded. They were jointly charged with the murder of Lee Ming Hao, 44, at a flat along Jalan Nipah in Taman Daya at about 2 p.m. last 14 July. The charge under Section 302 of the Penal Code and read together with Section 34 of the same Act provides the death penalty upon conviction. The court fixed 27 September for mention pending the post-mortem result. In the same court, both Law and Pham pleaded guilty to self-administration of drug and were each fined 1,700 ringgit in default 6 months jail. Law, who tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine, was charged with committing the offence at the Narcotic Criminal Investigation Division of the Johor Bahru Selatan District Police at about 1:30 p.m. last 15 July. As for Pham, a labourer, he tested positive for methamphetamine at the same place at about midnight the following day. Magistrate Nur Madiana also ordered them to be placed under the National Anti-Drugs Agency's AADK probation for 2 years. And wrapping up the news at 10, in our top story, maximum price for bottled cooking oil to be gazetted soon. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Till then, it's lights out. I'm Brendan Lepol. Stay tuned to saluran Berita RTM. Salam keluarga Malaysia and have a pleasant evening. Take care.